Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
What's going on, nerds? And we are talking about the new House of the Dragons episode, which I think was called The Second of His Name. So, Susie, how are you?
I'm good. I have a question for you.
Shit, we're starting this already.
Well, because I think this will be the second episode that you've worn your Clark Kent glasses. I think last week you were in contacts, so I think this is your second episode with your Clark Kent glasses.
Okay.
How you liking them?
I like them a lot. They did actually a very good job on them. They're not heavy, but they're not lightweight at the same time.
Okay.
They won't fly off my head, and they just...
So basically what you're telling me, in 24 days, you're willing to ride Rock and Roller Coaster with them on.
No, these were expensive. No, I'll be... I'll have my contacts on. While my insurance took care of 90% of everything, I don't want to then have to pay for a new pair.
I completely understand that. I will make sure I am equipped with eye drops then.
For contacts?
Yeah.
I don't get front row anyway, so there's no point. Yeah, Susie?
I'm going to stop that line of thought because you've asked me for eye drops before when we were in an amusement park.
So we're talking about the new episode, The Second of His Name, and a lot happened in this third episode. Susie, you did a great job with making questions. Why don't we start with them?
So much. So we have all seen, I hope we have all seen season 1 of Game of Thrones. Because that's what a chunk of this episode reminded me of, was season 1, Game of Thrones, Robert Baratheon going on a hunt and leaving his wife behind.
Yep.
So I'm going to do this a little out of the order that I put the questions up on our
That's
screen
perfectly fine. I didn't really read them anyway.
Because I finished the episode about an hour ago and just rapid fired questions.
Yeah, it was like Gatling gun of Susie questions like dot 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 dot
Yeah.
dot dot dot.
So this episode is a 3-year time jump from when we last ended in episode 2. Were you expecting a 3-year time jump? Because I was kind of looking forward to a wedding.
Yes, so was I, especially with the weddings that we've seen before happen in Game of Thrones. I was very much looking forward to it.
I definitely would have passed on like a red wedding, but like I kind of was hoping to see, a nice little Game of Thrones wedding.
Yeah, I didn't realize the time jump until they brought up the son and that she was pregnant again.
Well, and he's 2 years old. The other thing is they were talking about the war because Daemon and I can't think of Corlys?
I think that's what his name is.
Are in a war. It's been going on for 3 years.
Yeah, it was going
on for
a while.
And that's when I was like, hold on, wait a minute, what?
See, Game of Thrones, we're used to time jumps, but not that long of time jumps.
Yeah, not.
We're used to a couple months here or there. Like I think it was 6 months from episode 1 to 2.
Yeah.
And then from 2 to 3, it's 3 years. Like I get they have places to go and people to see and people to kill and people to murder and plunder, rape, and what have you.
No, we are not sponsored in any way by Pepsi, but with the amount of Pepsi that I drink, I really need a sponsorship.
I think we're working on a G Fuel sponsorship for the Will behind you.
I'm not telling him.
You're not?
Nope.
No, we're just gonna let Baby Yoda just sit on his chest and be like, "What? Tell me what you see."
He can find out in about 10 minutes, and then he can scream in my ear. But he's not screaming in my ear while I'm in the middle of doing this.
No, let him find out tomorrow when this episode airs.
Oh yeah, that's true. That'd actually be more fun.
So
leave my headphones alone. Get away from me.
So what is the second question now that you're trying to multitask?
Okay. If you haven't seen this episode yet, this really isn't much of a spoiler, but I have so many questions about that spear that they use in this hunt. Like,
It's a good looking spear, just weird.
It's decoration. It's literally a decoration spear. Why are you using it to stab things?
Well, look who gave it to him. A Lannister. Just saying.
Yeah. I'm not gonna go into depth about that Lannister because I have so much. That Lannister just
He's got a thing for how old is Rhaenyra at this point?
Rhaenyra?
14, 15, 16, around there? Because they do say she's of age.
She is of age. And I don't know what age they typically get married in Game of Thrones. So yeah, I would go with like 14, 15.
Yeah.
Which really, like, that's not a bad age. But it's still like,
yeah,
why?
exactly.
Why?
Exactly.
And it's because everybody's making assumptions, which, which character had the most growth during this episode?
I think the father. I think the king.
I think the king, but also I think the queen. But the queen was a little more subtle.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the queen is also. See, this is
No spoily. No spoily.
I know. Let's just say the queen isn't following her intuition.
Yeah, I feel like she knows a lot more than she is telling.
Yeah.
I honestly think the hand and the queen, while they are father and daughter,
do not see eye to eye.
But yet I think they're kind of going on how the Lannisters took over King's Landing from Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah, I could see that. Definitely.
I see. Now, I don't know anything. It's only episode 3. I fully expect the king is going to die by the end of season 1.
I figure the king's gonna die by episode 5. What?
Okay.
There's a rumor. No, there's a rumor circulating around that the actress that plays Rhaenyra and the actress that plays her stepmother are being replaced as of episode like 5 or 6.
Really?
Yeah, for older versions. And I don't know how true that is, but like, because like I said, it's a rumor. So I'm going to be interested to see. But like now I'm wondering, is he in it all of season 1 or does he get halfway through?
But I think, like, back to your question, he had the most character growth because you see him from episode 1 to 2 and now in 3 really fighting with his paternal instinct and his duty as a king. And, now that his daughter has come of age, he has a duty to make allies with his daughter, with marrying her away and all that stuff.
That's the king's duty. The father's duty is to make sure she's safe. She's going to be taken care of.
And that's part of why he wants her to go with a Lannister, because he knows.
Yeah. I do like what he had to say to her at the end. Because it was definitely him realizing that as a king, he needed to back off.
Yeah.
As a father, he was fine, but as a king, he needed to back off because he was forcing his daughter to do things she didn't want to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite scene?
Shit. The white flag.
The white flag?
I'm just going to say white flag if you haven't seen the episode.
That is my favorite scene. Also leads into my last question. Do you think Matt Smith's back hurts?
From carrying this franchise so far?
From carrying, like, literally doesn't say a single word. And that's all you're getting out of me. Doesn't say a single word.
He didn't say a single word all episode.
He did not say a single word. This freaking Matt Smith just carried the whole end of this episode. The whole end of the episode.
And his smirk at the end.
I just want to know, do you think Matt Smith's back hurts? Because I do. I think he's gonna need some surgery. Because that was some impressive acting.
Oh, Matt Smith is an impressive actor to begin with, but when you put him in like a period piece kind of show,
Yeah.
and give him, see, I feel like 3 episodes in, I'm gonna compare him. It's probably gonna be wrong by the end of the season, as a more aggressive not Jamie Lannister,
Which one are you thinking of?
Kingslayer.
That would be Jamie Lannister.
Okay, but he's like a more aggressive Ashhole-ish version of him.
See, I feel like he's like the perfect combination of Tyrion and Jamie.
Okay,
Like,
yeah,
perfect combination, because Tyrion is that asshole,
Mhm.
and then Jamie is exactly what we saw today.
Yeah.
Well, for me today. For everybody else, it was Sunday. Like,
So was that the last question?
that was the last question. I really didn't have much for this one because it's so jam-packed that to talk about one thing, you spoil the whole episode. So this episode was so hard to like pick different points in it.
Out of the first 3 episodes, I think this is the one with the most depth I think we see of character development.
This was my favorite. I do, however, I will post at some point. I'm gonna see if I can find a good photo of a map for Game of Thrones, because oh my god, like, you have to see where they're fighting.
Yeah.
It's freaking phenomenal to think about it. And I never thought to like sit with a map just so I could see like what's going on, because the old Game of Thrones, it used to pop up with a map at the opening. And this one does to an extent, but it's not the same. And it's just because it's mostly dealing with the Targaryens and not everybody.
All right, Susie. Well, we'll see everybody back next week for episode 4. Susie, real fast, where can people find you?
Did you really just think of that?
What?
Asking me where to find me?
Yeah, where can people find you?
So people can find me currently editing.
You just hurt my own brain after a question that I say every
You're
week.
welcome. You're
Ow.
welcome. Well, because you just said we'll see each other. Everybody, oh wait, Susie, where can we find you? And I'm like, wait, what?
My brain did a beep, 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 beep.
So I am my husband behind me, who is going to turn around and wave. Hi. That's not waving. That's
just looking creepy.
That is looking creepy. He has started his own YouTube channel, Pokemon Trainer Mellis. I'm editing his videos currently, actually. They post every Monday through Friday at noon.
Yes, I'm fully aware of that.
I know you're fully aware. That doesn't mean our viewers are.
Which, everybody, go follow him on Twitch and here on YouTube. Because he'll live stream on Twitch, and then I'm pretty sure those videos end up on YouTube. And
so his Let's Plays on Monday, those are ending up on YouTube. He's currently hunting Regice, and we are taking bets on to how many encounters it's going to take before he actually gets shiny.
2,961. It's the number I've stuck to this whole time.
Okay, does he know this?
Yes, he does know this.
Okay.
Because I post it every time he asks, hey, we're kind of playing a not betting game.
Yeah.
But let's send it over to Rob Paulson for my outro.
Hey, you guys, this is 625 here from Lilo and Stitch. Some people think of me as A.J. Coppola. I don't care. Just follow me on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, Twitch at NDTA Jalistar 15, and Xbox and PSN at AJ All-Star 15. I should have said AJ All-Star, but I'm a sandwich maker. What the hell do I know? Do yourself a favor. Go get yourself a hot fudge marshmallow tuna fish and ham sandwich. All right? Take care of yourself. Goodbye.
All right, everybody. Well, that's it for this week's Game of Thrones House of the Dragon review. I guess you could still call it Game of Thrones, because it's like Game of Thrones presents House of the Dragon.
Yeah, so it is Game of Thrones. They definitely hit on the Game of Thrones note with the opening, so I would call it Game of Thrones.
Yeah, the nostalgia. But we will see you next week for episode 4's review. Everybody stay safe, stay cool, stay hydrated.
Like,
Cool.
share, follow.
Bingo, because that's what was in my head, but I completely brain farted. Thank you, the Susie.
You're welcome, the AJ.
Bye, everybody.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.